It was a cold, silent night. The wind whistled and howls, its gales rasping against the glass window pane. A waning crescent hung from the pitch-black sky, shrouded in the blue-tinted gray clouds. I stared through the telescope, my mind full of wonder as my gaze met with the moon. Dormont was such a pretty village at night. Within my room, posters and photographs were affixed to the wall, displaying constellations, galaxies, skies, suns, moons, and stars, all of which were my passion. From the ceiling, a solar system sent light flowing into my room.
Peter.
A sound, low grumble. It opposed the usual night sounds of Dormont, of which usually consisted of cricket songs and rustling tree branches. And then, I realized the sound must have belonged to my mother's voice, coming to check up on me. I leapt into my bedsheets, switching off the lights in such a quick sequence I had forgotten I'd even done so. Mother would kill me if she caught me awake at this time of night again.
Pumpkin eater.
Footsteps. The grumble I had heard earlier sounded once again, except this time I could interpret them as faint words. Was Mother talking to someone? But who? We were the only ones who were here since Father was at work as far as I knew. Lightning flashed. It sent light flooding into the room, lighting up my reflection in the mirror opposite me in my bed.
Had a wife but could not keep her.
The sound grew louder. No, closer. A screeching sound caused my eardrums to throb with pain. It was so loud it was unbearable. It was as if metal was being dragged across the floorboards, coming closer and closer. By now, I had begun to call out, "Mother, is that you?" But my voice was overcome by the metallic screeches.
He put her in a pumpkin shell.
Now it was clear to me that someone was singing a melody of some sort. It was too masculine and low-pitched to be my mother's voice, though who else could it be? Paranoia ached through my bones, dreading the thought of a stranger inside my own home. The screeching got louder. My heart beat furiously inside my chest, as if trying to escape the boy that held it prisoner. Each of my breaths were shaky, while every part of my body trembled in uttermost fear.
And there he kept her very well.
I bit my lip. For some reason, I couldn't convince myself that everything was okay. I couldn't convince myself that it was anything but danger. I couldn't function. I was too afraid of what was behind the door, of what was singing this eerie symphony. Another flash of lightning sent shivers down my spine, lighting up the mirror across the room. But in the brief showcase of my reflection, I wasn't alone.
Peter, pumpkin eater.
The words were unmistakable. Not only that, but something had been standing in the doorway. I had been sure of it. My inner instincts told me to hide beneath the bedsheets and quilts, build a fortress of pillows and never leave. But I was frozen still in the unnerving, uncomfortable position that I always try to avoid sleeping in. The sound of multiple throbbing heartbeats echoed constantly in my mind. Always there. Slam! The sound of my window shutting.
Had another and didn't love her.
My stomach twisted and turned inside my body as each word entered my ears. At this moment, I leapt out of my bed, shuffling to a corner of the room. I clung to my teddy bear tightly and began to cry, as any 14-year-old would do. "Father, if you're playing a trick on me, I swear!" I yelled, my voice cracking and shattering as it left my throat, interrupting myself. An unnerving silence gave me time to lift the tears shrouding my sight. And there, I saw a shadowy figure standing still in the darkness. Lightning lit the yellowish-white silhouette of a toothy grin.
Up the chimney he did shove her.
This line stood out from the rest, as if the man before me was telling me my fate. He whispered it in an eerie tone, staring down at me with one hand gripping an axe, the other a pair of scissors. Peter, Peter, the pumpkin eater. Those were my final words, despite the fact that I'm sure I was not the one speaking them. The case on the 14-year-old victim, Janice Broadford, and his 39-year-old mother, Mary Broadford, has finally been concluded. Each of their corpses has been found together in the chimney of their own home. It seems the pumpkin eater, who is usually known to cut up his victims and stuff the remains into pumpkin shells, has more than just one method of killing. This time, it seems the two corpses were tormented with a sharp, unidentified object as their eyes were gouged out, along with the son's tongue. Then, the two must have been forcefully shoved up the compact chimney and secured with barbed wire, perhaps even alive, for it would seem they both suffocated on soot before dying of blood loss. The idea of them being alive has been sparked from the multiple scratches, seeming to have originated from human nails, in the insides of the chimney. Both victims had multiple uneven broken nails to support this theory. No clues were left behind for us to know who the killer was. It may not even be the pumpkin eater, but it seems too similar a case to not relate somehow.